but I don't see I don't see the monitor. Um, how do I see the monitor? Ah, okay. So, forgive me. I'm starting I'm using a new piece of tech here for doing this, so I have no monitor right now. Let me see how I get back to where that is. Forgive me for this. Oh, how do I get back to the actual stream monitor? I feel like such a boomer. Ah, okay. There it is. Oh, man. Okay, I see a monitor here. Hopefully, you all can see and hear me okay. Let me make sure the audio, everything's working. I promise you we'll get this all dialed in. We'll go external microphone, just make sure. Okay, we got that. Okay, audio monitoring off. That's fine. Okay, mic is fine. Video's fine, I believe. Okay. This is good enough for episode 1. So, welcome to the Summerland Show, episode 1. Just going to get this thing off the ground. So, today's topic is, what if everything you've ever known about stress and anxiety and, let's say, mental health is wrong? What if it's all wrong? Let's think for a moment. What would that imply? So let's say you've learned a little bit about psychology. You might have read some Freud, some Jung, or some pop psychology, or psychology today, or whatever resources, or self-help, or personal development. But what if the worldview informing the psychologists and the psychiatrists, for example, and the psychological and the psychiatric worldviews was built on a foundation of logical fallacies, for example? What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, if we take psychiatry as an example, psychiatry's premise is that they base all their work on the term mental illness. Now, if you go back to, I believe, in the 1970s, you had psychiatrists who ended up being somewhat anti a lot of aspects of psychiatry, Thomas Satz, and he wrote a book called The Myth of Mental Illness, among other many, many good books. And in later future episodes, we'll do some deep dives into the content of Myth of Mental Illness and some of his other works. But for now, I want to just, as an example, outline what's the logical fallacy at the root of psychiatry. And the logical fallacy is a category error. Now, what does that mean? Well, the term mental illness itself is a category error because the term illness means, and let's actually bring up an actual definition so you have no way to counter me on this later. Definition, let's take a look. Definition of illness is a disease or period of sickness affecting the body or mind. Now, they changed the definition to include or mind, which I would say is also a faulty definition because this is tricky. Okay, here we go. Cambridge Dictionary definition. Illness, a disease of the body or mind. Now, it's funny that they would claim that there can be a disease of the mind when scientific materialism cannot account for the existence of the mind. Illness, a disease of the body or mind. Now we're going to need, what's a definition of disease? And we'll stick with Cambridge for this one. Okay, here we go. This is the important key to understanding what I mean by mental illness is a category error. a logical fallacy. A condition of a person, animal, or plant, we're dealing with people on this definition, in which its body or structure, keep this in mind, is harmed because an organ or part is unable to work as it usually does. So this means an organ or part, which is referring to a physical thing, where the mind is a metaphysical thing. So a condition of a person in which its body or structure, so that's all implying physicality, meaning cells, okay, is unable to work is harmed because an organ or part is unable to work as it usually does. Okay, so keeping that in mind, the presupposition that that psychiatry as a whole makes to support its own existence is that there is something called mental illness that exists that's not accounted for by the rest of the medical profession. And the way they've sold that to people and sold all their medications to people is on the basis, and you've heard probably many people repeat this, is on the basis that there is a chemical imbalance at the root of chronic depression or chronic, what they call mental illness. So at one point, when a lot of people had mentioned that to me, well, they said, I need to be on these medications for the rest of my life. Who told you that? Well, my psychiatrist told me that. Well, why did they say that? Because I have a chemical imbalance. I said, okay, so did they actually test the chemicals and determine that you have that imbalance? Well, no, but how do they know that? And the people kind of fall apart when you go down that line of inquiry. And then, you're med shaming me or whatever, kind of coping nonsense. Okay, so, and now it's funny, I don't even see where I got to learn how to use this stream. I don't see where the comment section is or anything. Like this is a really bad monitor system. How do I even see this stream? Excuse me for a moment. I'm gonna have to up my game with this software, but studio mode, no. Overlays, scene, alerts. Just want to see if there's a chat here. Okay, no. This is different than it looked before. Okay, I have to learn this better. Forgive me. No. Okay, let's get a monitor going here. Forgive me for this. It'll get better and better. This is episode 1. Okay, here we go. At least I'll just bring it up on the screen. See if there's any of your comments there or anything. If there are comments or questions, just later we'll do call-ins on this show too. Not today, but in future episodes. So I want to complete my thought about everything you know about stress and anxiety is BS. Now, even on the monitor page, I'm not able to see the comments yet. So let's take a look here. All right, let's see. How do I? Okay, let's just close out of that. Close out of that. Okay, we'll go back to editor here. Aha, okay, there's the chat. Okay, now I can see it. Okay, so if you can follow this sort of dyslexic chain of thought here, what I'm getting at is when there's an illness, the standard medical doctors have their protocols for dealing with it. Now, that's a whole other conversation, whether you trust allopathic medicine or not, okay? But we're going to leave that alone for the sake of this conversation. This conversation is about so-called mental illness as one of the factors of stress and anxiety that you've been lied to about. So the core for understanding this about our example that was at hand about psychiatry is that it's based on the logical fallacy of category error. Now, I'll explain what I mean by that. Because illness itself implies that there's some kind of cellular damage or cellular dysfunction going on that leads to the dysfunction of a particular organ or system of the body. or of the brain. I'm not going to allow them to smuggle in the term mind because from the scientific materialist worldview upon which psychiatry is based, they do not have an account for the existence of metaphysical things such as the mind. So they don't get to smuggle that in, and you shouldn't allow them to either. But to make the point, make this story a little bit longer, psychiatry makes the claim, they imply the claim, because now they're not allowed by law. The pharmaceutical companies and the psychiatrists are not allowed by law to claim that that the mental illnesses are caused by a chemical imbalance in the brain. Although the pharmaceutical companies have done what they can to imply that that's how their medications work. And many psychiatrists have repeated that. How do I know? Because I was told that by psychiatrists. This was back in 1990s. And then almost every client that I've had who has had an encounter with a psychiatrist was told that they have or might have a chemical imbalance in their brain. And no one pushes back on the psychiatrists to ask them what's the basis for that? Because, of course, we're taught to just trust medical professionals without question. So basically, mental illness can't exist. If it's an illness, then doctors already have the protocols to deal with that illness. So what Thomas Satz would use was, he would call it like a struggle with life or an emotional struggle. People do have struggles with life. I'm not saying that your struggles don't exist, but I'm saying that the terms that you've been taught, such as anxiety, such as depression, ADHD, all the millions of terms that people have been conditioned to use and repeat and to internalize, those terms themselves are doing damage to your mental health, and they're making it harder often for you to deal with the actuality of the mental or emotional or life struggles that you're going through. So what I'm here to propose with Summerland is, and all the training and the radical undoing, the body movement and the breathing and the adventures in the cognitive experiments, is both to help get you grounded, get you out of the hellish snow globe of the mind and back into the actuality of the body, and to know the difference between what's actually going on in actuality and physicality, and between what's going on there versus what's going on inside the snow globe of the mind, to know the difference, what's actually happening and what's only in your imagination, to be able to discern that on a moment by moment basis by staying grounded and rooted in the actuality of the body. But then also to give you experiences that show you that you don't need to use terms like anxiety, like depression, and like all these diagnostics that these criminal grifters have come up with. That there are other ways of talking about and even thinking about your own life struggles, your own personal suffering, and everything that you're going through. There's new ways to think about and handle these things that are much more empowering and that are going to help you succeed in overcoming those struggles with a lot less pain and suffering. Okay? So that's what I'm here to tell you today. Today's stream is just going to be a short one. I'm just pushing myself to do a lot more streams and to start to cover this topic in a lot more detail because I meet so many people through the work that I do with Summerland, with the Radical Undoing training, because people have studied so much of the stuff that I mentioned at the beginning. They've studied the occult, they've studied spirituality, or what I call fake spirituality. They've done all the self-help. They've tried the yoga, the meditation, the endless systems. And none of it has really delivered on what the person first started searching for. A lot of times people have forgotten what they even began the search for. And then they've been lied to so many times through so many different systems like this, and the psychology and the psychiatry and all this stuff, that by the time they come to me to do the basic body movement, the breathing stuff, like I said, the Summerland training, that they're blown away. That, for example, I've had many clients that go through the Summerland challenge. It's just a very simple 12-day challenge. And people that have been suffering, for example, from social anxiety for almost their entire life, they've reported back to me, and this blew my mind. I didn't even try to solve this issue with the Summerland challenge, but they reported back to me that they overcame their social anxiety by about day 4. And what's crazy is you can see the difference in their face and in their whole composure, in the communication with these guys and these women, how much more at ease they are in their own skin by about day 3 or 4 of the challenge. That's how fast this stuff works. But what's funny is if I make that promise, in an ad, or I make that promise in a video, okay, you can get over your social anxiety in 3 or 4 days, and then we'll get down to some real work, people don't believe me at all. They just do not believe me, So that's the struggle with this work, is finding out how to present it to you so you know the goodness of it and that you can trust what I'm actually saying enough that you give it a try and go through the experiences for yourself. But today, I'm already disappointed with myself for this stream because I'm scattered, I'm all over the place, and I wanted to just make a simple point that everything that you've been taught about stress and anxiety is wrong. I didn't even get to the deeper parts about stress. But basically, stress can be your friend if you have the tools to convert it into power, to convert it into instant motivation, inspiration, focus. You can use your stress to repair the broken attention span that almost everyone suffers from due to the phones and social media and all of this bombardment we get through those technologies on a moment-by-moment basis. So, what I want to give you, if you stuck around this long on the video, thank you for being here. Let me know also in the comments any kind of topics you'd like me to cover on future episodes of the Summerland Show. But for now, what I want to give you is 2 exercises before I end the stream. Number 1 is called a simple twist of face. And if you want, you can check the playlist section here on the channel. In the playlist section, you'll find one called SELF, the self exercises playlist. And that's going to include the two exercises I'm going to give you right now, and then 2 more exercises you can experiment with as well. How do I make it so that the thumbs up stuff doesn't happen? That's weird. Okay, we'll figure that out next time. How do I turn that off? Reactions? No, I don't want that. Okay. Okay, so first we're going to do a simple twist of face. And the way that's going to work is you want to first sit down, take a couple breaths, relax. And then you're just going to slowly twist and move your face. All the muscles of your face. You're going to include the forehead, the eyebrows, the eyeballs in different directions, eyelids open and closed, the cheeks, the nostrils, the lips, the jaw, and even the tongue. Okay, so we're going to twist and move. And you want to make really powerful, intense contractions of all the muscles and then move through those contractions. Okay? And it's going to feel funny and it's going to look funny. If you have a mirror, even better, do it in the mirror. So the keys to this, number 1, move all parts of the face. Number 2, go more slowly than you think you need to go. Go slow and deliberate. And number 3, keep a steady flow of breathing. Breathe into your belly and into your chest while you do this. And it's a full breath, just not a forced breath. And do it along with me. You want to do this one for at least 3 full minutes. Best is 5 minutes at least twice a day, once in the morning, once before bed. But better is even do it anytime during the day when you start to feel stressed out. Take 3 or 5 minutes to yourself and do this exercise. So let's keep going. We'll do it for 2 more minutes now. And try and break any patterned ways that you're doing the movement. So if you're only moving your forehead, move down to the tongue. If you're only doing the jaw, go up to the cheeks. If your lips are always going out, try pulling them in. Jaw, lips, tongue. You can say ah if you want for the breath, but just make sure you keep on breathing, keep on twisting and moving the face. And we got another minute or two here. And the more pressure and intensity you do with the contractions, the more you're going to get out of this. So keep going. And try like one eyebrow at a time. Try lips out. Try lips in. And even try to make faces that freak you out. Like, you can make faces of emotions. You could go sad and really amplify it. Push into it. And then go to like the opposite. Go to happy. And then go to like psychopath happy. And then go to anger. And then go to disgust. You know, you can play around with it. There's a million ways to go deep with this. But the point is, you got to do it every single day. And now, why should you do this? I didn't even say that at the beginning. Let's finish the exercise, then I'll explain why. Keep going. A little bit longer. Keep breathing. Okay, now we finished about 3 minutes or so. Hold one face really tight. Tense even the tongue, the eyes, everything I mentioned before. Take a full inhalation, hold the breath for a moment, and then hold. Count for yourself, 3, 2, 1, and let all the breath out. 3, 2, 1, and and let everything relax on the exhale. After you finish the exercise, take at least 20, 30 seconds. Let everything relax. Let the jaw hang loose. Couple deep sighing breaths. And feel the effects of the exercise. Now, this exercise, why should you do this? This exercise will eventually get you out of your head, grounded back in the body. And if you do it with repetition every single day, best multiple times a day. It's only 5 minutes, okay? No excuses here. Other people are going to be reacting differently to you because this is how all of our emotional baggage is presented to other people. The combination of our facial muscles and the chronic tensions that we've been carrying for years, sometimes decades, is communicating to everyone else, usually on a subconscious level, meaning it's out of their awareness, but it's teaching other people how to treat you. So if you're walking around like and your inner victim is going crazy, and you think that you're not putting that out there, other people are receiving that information, whether they're aware of it or not, and they're reacting to it and treating you in a certain way. So what happens with clients often when they start doing just the face stretches every single day, number one, they start feeling better, just generally start feeling better throughout the day. Number two, other people in their lives start to notice, like, what's different about you? Something's different. And number three, if you stick with it long enough, you're making a pathway from all the different charged states that you can get into. And we'll get into this on a future stream about TCDR. That's tension, charge, discharge, and relaxation. That's the human stress cycle. TCDR. Probably tomorrow we'll do that for the Summerland Show. But basically, people get into charged states. And those charged states are, sadness, excitement, so-called anxiety, anger, whatever charged states that you get yourself into. People get into those states, and then I got lost. There was somebody coming in downstairs. I wasn't expecting a guest, so you get it. What we're doing is creating pathways from the charged states back to neutral. And now you should be able to see how that works if you just did the exercise, because the face was tense. In my case, it was somewhat in the cheeks here, in the jaw, a little bit around the eyes, and even some in the forehead. You're going from a charged state, which if your facial muscles are tense, this leads to a charged emotional state. And what we're doing by stretching the face muscles, for one example of how this works, there's a million different ways that this face stretching works, but one simple example that you can understand directly is you're going from the charged states back to neutral, from the tense face back to the relaxed, at ease face. So then what will happen, other people will start to notice, wow, what are you doing? You seem so much more alive, so much more relaxed. So you're going to bring more aliveness into your face, more blood flow into your face. Your vision might even be more crisp, more sharp. There's a million different things that happen. And also it starts to tone the vagus nerve that goes all the way down through the body and leads you to have much more capacity for deep relaxation. But remember the keys to the face stretches. Do it for at least 3 minutes, better 5 minutes. At least once a day, better twice, 3, 4, 5 times a day. Keep on breathing throughout the exercise. Use a lot of intensity, contract all the different muscles, use all parts of your face, and finally go slower than you think you need to go. Don't do this and think that you're accomplishing nothing. Do real slow, intense contractions of the face muscles. Keep on breathing throughout at least 3 minutes, better 5 minutes. Okay? Try that out if you're serious about this. If you want to get real amazing results from 5 minutes of work, 5 minutes for insane results. And these results compound over time the more you do this exercise, okay? Then try it out. Try it out for at least the next 7 days. I've had some people, oh, I tried out the face stretches. Really? How long do you try for? I tried it for like 2 minutes. It doesn't work. I'm like, number one, I block those people right away because I don't want to deal with somebody on that level at all. Okay? They don't want help. They'll never get help. It's, God bless them. But they're not for me to deal with. But try it out for at least 7 days. Try it out for 7 days every single day. And then if you have questions or if you feel like it's not working, send me a message, leave a comment here on the YouTube, and I can certainly identify why you didn't notice any results if you didn't. But I can guarantee that if you stick with it 2 times a day for the next 7 days, you're going to be coming to me asking me about the rest of the Summerland training. So one more exercise before we go. I got to get going here. I have a choir to go to very shortly. But the second exercise, and these are the core exercises of the Radical Undoing and of the Summerland training. Number 1, simple twist of face. Number 2, Atlas shrugged. Now, I'm not a big Ayn Rand fan. But I will say I enjoy calling this exercise Atlas shrugged because it implies throwing the weight of the world off your shoulders. Now, that's not saying you don't have duties that you need to live up to. You do, but you need to get out of your head first to find out what the real duties are and to learn how to embrace those. If you're stuck in your head, you're trying to live up to ideals that don't even exist and that are fantasies. They're not even based in reality. But that'll be again, for another stream. So right now I want to give you the Atlas Shrugged exercise. Again, you can find this with all the instructions in the playlist somewhere here on the channel. You click on playlist and there will be one that says self exercises. So you'll find 2 more exercises there you can dive into. But this one is the Atlas Shrugged, the shoulder elevation. So do this along with me. Don't just sit there watching me do this. This is one we're going to do for 90 seconds. I'm even going to use a timer for this. Let's go ahead. We'll go 1 minute, 30 seconds. And I want you to listen carefully to the instructions and do them properly. One big myth is that, or one thing that happens inside people's minds is like they'll hear a little bit about the radical undoing, and then they'll instantly go, "Oh, that's like yoga Reiki. That's like this." Da, 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 da. And it's like, no. Stop categorizing everything. Try the exercise. Then tell me what your experience was. I don't want to hear about what you've read. I don't want to hear about what you've tried, because if that stuff worked the way it promises to work, you wouldn't be here watching this stream right now, okay? Burn the books you've read in your mind. You know, I'm saying this in a metaphoric thing, but get rid of those. Start fresh with this, and you're going to see so many more results from your 6.5 minute investment of time in these exercises than you've seen in all the years of your self-development, personal development, fake spirituality, new age stuff combined. I guarantee it. Stick with these 2 exercises for 1 week. You're going to get more out of that than you've gotten out of all the other seeking you've done your entire life. Okay, so got to get going soon, so we're going to do this exercise. I set the timer for 90 seconds. Sit up straight but relaxed and pull your shoulders up towards your ears. Straight up, not rolled forward, not rolled back, but straight up towards your ears. And this is a dynamic exercise, so you keep pulling the shoulders up, 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 up. You don't just like leave them here and hang there, but you're pushing up. Of course, as always, with every physical exercise, you must be careful. Ask your doctor, ask the police, ask your neighbors, ask your parents, ask your teachers if it's okay for you to do it. If it is, then do it. But, you know, all the risk is on you for whatever you do with your body. I don't know what injuries you've had, whatever. But without hurting yourself, pull your shoulders up to your ears tightly as you can, but don't go into any kind of pain. And pull them up. It should be uncomfortable. It should not be painful. So that's the boundary. Pull the shoulders up. I'll start the timer now. And so, see, my shoulders are up. My hands are loose. My wrists are... I'm not like this, like tensing everything. And scan through the rest of your body. Make sure the rest of your body's relaxed. Shoulders are up. Make sure your neck isn't like this. A lot of times people do that. Okay. Keep the neck loose and relaxed. Keep the jaw loose and relaxed. And now the keys to this: constant pressure upward, at least a full minute. 90 seconds is better. Never do this exercise for under a minute. It will not work. You must do it for at least a full minute. Otherwise, it's not the same exercise, okay? It can actually make your tension worse if you don't do it for the full minute. So, shoulders up, nice and tight, constantly pushing up, taking some breaths. You want to be breathing into the belly and into the chest. Breathing into the belly and into the chest while you're constantly pushing your shoulders up. Now, a secret key to this exercise is relaxing into the intensity. So we got about 10 seconds left here. You want to notice the intensity. Now it's getting pretty uncomfortable, right? It's warm. You want to let go, but just keep pushing, okay? Keep on breathing. And stop struggling against the exercise inside your mind. That's all I'll say about that for now. We'll do a whole stream about how to learn how to relax into intensity later. But for now, keep on breathing. Okay, full inhalation. Pull the shoulders up tight. Hold the inhalation for a moment. Hold, hold, hold. And when I say 3, 2, 1, you're going to say ah and thrust the shoulders down. Use some force, okay? So I'll hold, hold, hold. Hold them up, pull them up tight, tight, tight. A little bit longer. And remember, don't fight the exercise inside your mind. Just relax into the fact that you're doing it. Hold tight. And 3, 2, 1, and ah. You can shake your shoulders out a little bit now. Shake your neck out. Loosen everything up. Take a few breaths. Relax. Take it easy. Another deep breath. Close your eyes. Okay, and that is the Atlas Shrugged exercise. So what I've just given you, let's just do a quick recap. Number one, everything that you've learned about stress and anxiety and all this kind of mental health stuff is totally wrong, and most of it's very harmful, even though it's been accepted as the standard or the norm. Okay, that's number one. Number two, there's no such thing as a chemical imbalance. Don't take my word for it. Go look, try to find the studies for yourself. The studies that did exist have all been refuted. And even certain psychiatrists themselves have spoken to U.S. Congress advising them to restrict pharmaceutical companies from being able to market their medications as being a cure for a chemical imbalance. It just is not a real thing. So look for yourself, and that will be very important for you to see that lie that is being repeated by people for 20, 30 years is a complete falsity. So look that up for yourself. Try to find out more about this so-called chemical imbalance. It doesn't exist. And third, that a better way to deal with these things, to deal with stress, you can convert stress into power. You can convert stress into motivation. Stress and so-called anxiety are your friend. They are your friend. And with very little effort, and what do I mean by very little effort? Well, right now, you're just getting started. Do the simple twist of face at least twice a day. So that's 5 minutes plus 5 minutes, 10 minutes, okay? And then do the Atlas Shrugged for at least 90 seconds twice a day. So that puts you at 6.5 minutes. Now, if you want more details about all this with video demonstrations and all that, look in the description below this video. You'll find that you can get instantly the 7-minute emergency kit. You get instant access to that. Plus, you will then be invited into the Summerland 12-day challenge. And in the Summerland 12-day challenge, we go a lot deeper into all this stuff, give you some real amazing experiences. And then you can see and decide if you want to get into the deeper level of the Summerland Academy for Radical Undoing training. And I should not drink 2 coffees right before I stream. That's what I learned just from today. Okay, so we'll see you guys again tomorrow, if the Lord is willing, for episode 2 of the Summerland Show. Thanks for jumping on. And please leave comments with any kind of topics you'd like to see me cover in the future, anything you're struggling with. I work best helping other people handle specifically what they're going through. So please put your questions in the comment section. If you don't want to, if it's something you feel like you don't want to comment about publicly, you can also email me, radicalundoing@gmail.com or garrett@radicalundoing.com. Either way, you can email me, and then I can incorporate your issue into a future stream. And Sean, I see your comment. Is that the face stretch emoji? I'm not sure if I have a monitor going here. Yeah, there we go. There's an emoji I like to represent face stretches. Let me see. Oh man, these are ridiculous YouTube emojis. Let's see what we got here. It was the, where is it? There's the funny face stretch one. Well, here's one that kind of works. Yeah, there we go. There was a better one, though. Or a chain of the face emojis. That could basically do it, too. Okay, I got it. Sean, I think we've talked before too. Your name seems really familiar. I don't remember if we have, but if not, then hopefully I'll see you on a future stream. But thanks for jumping on, dude. And yeah, whatever you guys want me to cover in the future, I work best on questions and problems from other people. So that's when I produced. That's when I produce my best work. You see how I kind of flail around in my head. I have so much information I can give you, but it comes out more concise and effective when I'm dealing with someone's issues directly. So leave me comments. What do you want me to cover in future shows? And thank you for jumping on. This is the first stream of the Summerland Show. I got to get outside. It's a beautiful sunny day. I'm going to get on my bike and head to choir practice. And all I got to say to you guys is try out The Undoing. Remember to finish the recap. Oh, man, I'm all over the place today. To finish the recap, do the simple twist of face and do the Atlas Shrugged exercise every day for the next 7 days. And then come back to the comment section here and let me know how it goes. And I'm so stoked because once you undo this psychology, self-help, this fake spirituality worldview, once you undo that and realize that you can deal with all the struggles of life, the mental struggles, the emotional struggles, through simple body movements and getting your breathing working back to normal, it's going to blow your fucking mind. It's going to blow your mind, dude. Sean, keep in touch, dude. Join me for the live streams. And I'm just getting this show going. I'm going to attempt an everyday thing, but I will dial it into a specific time and all this, so it'll be reliable in the future. But for now, I had to get like the minimum viable stream going, get myself going. So Sean, you were here on day one. This is cool. We're going to remember this later. But do the face stretches and do the shoulder. Do the Atlas Shrugged every day. And Sean, check in with me and let me know how it goes, dude. I'm so excited. So this stuff works so amazingly, but because we've all been so abused by all these different systems and the self-help book section and all this other crap that we think nothing could ever really work. That's what we're presupposing underneath it all. So it's my job to show you the goodness. First, to show you the absolute lies you've been sold. Then second, to show you the goodness of the radical undoing stuff through giving you tactics that are going to actually work immediately and over time. And then third, because of all that, then you will be able to be invited into the Summerland Challenge and into the Summerland Academy for Radical Undoing. You'll get to meet some of the other folks who've been doing this stuff for years. And most importantly, start getting the results for yourself and start being able to embrace and enjoy the inevitable struggles and suffering that life is going to throw you. Can you imagine that? That's what... Yeah, Sean says, nailed it. That's exactly where I am. Dude, I know. I spent years and I had thousands of books, dude. And it was like I was overwhelmed with 20,000 different broken worldviews that it's like I thought nothing would ever work. And thank God I ended up finding this bodywork stuff, and it, man, totally blew my mind. But anyway, got to get going today to choir. Super cool to meet you in the chat, Sean. And on future episodes of this, I'm going to be using a different stream model so I can bring people on the stream, and then we'll do some of the exercises together. So I always forget to say, make sure you like, subscribe, share this video if you got something from it. Share those exercises with your friends, your family, your loved ones, your enemies. Remember, simple twist of face and Atlas Shrugged. Do them every day. Do them multiple times a day. They're going to compound in beautiful results over time. And they're going to start getting you out of the hell of the failed seeking. So, Sean, super happy to connect here, dude. And stay tuned for future streams. Make sure you subscribe and turn all this stuff on. You get notifications. And then, Sean, I would be delighted to bring you, to honor your presence here on the first episode of the Summerland Show. by bringing you on a future stream, and we can have some conversations. And I can show you guys how this work is organic. So, for example, if Sean decides to be bold and jump on a stream with me, then we'll deal specifically with what his situations are, and then I'll be able to give specific, simple exercises that he can use to convert those specific stressors into power very rapidly. So I'm so excited. I could go on and on and on about this, but for now, all I want to say is much love. God bless.